Carlos Ramsey's with the enhancing mind. Sell the dream. You want people's attention? You tell them what they could be. You want people to take action? Show them how screwed they'd be if they don't do it. My guidebook, Your Enhancer and Destroyer, highlights what you are and then what you could be. I don't really dive into what will happen to you if you don't enhance yourself. I do touch on the subject here and there, but I don't dive into it, mostly because the message doesn't relay well on paper. And also, I do believe that positive reinforcement does a lot more for development long term than negative reinforcement does. However, my enhancement course, which still under construction, by the way, if you're listening in 2023, course number 1, to give you an idea, we dive into who you currently are, not who you want to be, who you currently are. And then we break down your current habits, your current routines, your current way of thinking. And we highlight where your current self has gotten you so far in life. Then we build a trajectory of where you think your current self might lead you in 10, maybe 15 years. In other words, your first course with the enhancing mind entails creating what I call the dartboard. It's the opposite of vision boards. You know, those boards where you cut out pictures of the mansion and the money and the body you want? Yeah, I go the opposite direction. I don't want you focused on the glam. That's selling the dream. That gets your attention, but it doesn't elicit action, which is why, in my opinion, those vision boards don't work, right? They don't elicit real action. They don't create a path to follow. And worst of all, they imply that if you believe something enough, you'll obtain it from mere manifestation of who knows what from who knows where. And I don't believe in that personal development philosophy at all. I believe that there are two necessary factors that build real momentum on the back end. Those two factors being the fear of what would be if you don't, and the other being having a clear pathway, a map that gives you the confidence to move forward. Put those together, and now you have the fire burning at the end of the rocket and the cockpit with a clear destination. That's real momentum right there. And when you have that, who needs the law of attraction? Why do I make you create a dartboard on your first session? Nothing makes you run towards something faster than when you're running away from something. I explained the 1,000-pound vest. We're so used to the weight, we don't even feel it anymore. We're so used to our negative personality traits, our negative reactions, our negative thought patterns, our negative routines, that we don't see them as negative anymore. Rather, we see them as a part of who we are, as a part of our personality or our image. Be careful, because that is a defense mechanism of your destroyer. It makes you believe it is a part of you. It isn't. All can be reformed. All can be recalibrated. But the reason creating dartboards is so important is to highlight the path before you. When you pick up a copy of the book or sign up for the courses, you're essentially standing at a fork in the road at that moment. In the preface, I talk about the crossroads that I had in my life. I had the choice of continuing my self-destructive habits or choosing self-progression. Obviously, I chose self-progression, and I'm glad I did. Every person that does is glad they do. I have yet to meet a single person that enhanced their life and told me that, man, I wish I would have stayed an alcoholic, or I wish I would have stayed homeless, or I wish I would have stayed in gangs, or whatever. I haven't had a single one of those yet. But when I was at the crossroad in my life, if someone could have shown me a video of myself 10 years in the future with my destructive habits, it would have really helped. As you'll read it in the preface of the book, I share that my personal progression was slow and uneventful for the first few years. But I betcha I would have gotten somewhere with my self-development a lot sooner. I would have stuck to it a lot more than I did if someone would have shown me a bird's eye view of who I'd be if I would have kept going on the path I was on. That's what I want to give to you. Our minds play movies. If you create your dartboard, you'll get that mental picture of who you'll be if you don't enhance yourself. And for many, that may be enough to look for an answer, for a way out. And when that happens, then we can get to work on the good stuff. Dartboards serve as a reminder that your life can always get worse. This is why personal enhancement is so important to me. This is the main reason I'm getting into this space as a leader. I myself, I've seen myself, I've seen others deteriorate under the weight of their own choices. And if I can be an enhancing factor in your life to help pull you out of that, I want to be that for you. Life can really suck if you don't put in the effort to make it not suck. On the other end, life can get really good if we play our cards right and integrate enhancing actions in our daily life. Knowing what you're running away from is just as important as knowing what you're running towards. It's the yin to the yang that propels us forward and keeps us on track. Do this. Take a few minutes and think about it right now. Who will you be in 10 years if you continue on your current path? Look at who you were 10 years ago and who you are now. I'm sure there are some things better, some things worse, but focus on the areas that have gotten worse for you in the last 10 years. And now, double it. That's where you'll be in 10 years. If the areas that have gotten worse for you doubled right now, would you be able to handle it? If the answer is no, it's time to get to work. That's all I've got for you. Carlos Ramsey's with the Enhancing Mind. Talk to you soon.